rocking our boat tonight. Whoa, fire in the sun, baby, tonight. If I lose myself tonight, oh, I know that you're gonna be there by my side. If I lose myself tonight, I'm gonna reach higher up into the sky. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Hello everyone and welcome to Longer and Harder, the show on the internet where we take a subject and we go deeper. How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having yourselves a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Sunday afternoon, I hope it, whatever times, whatever future times. Hello Micro, hello Ugly German Truth, hello Luke, and hello Evan. Hope you all have yourselves a wonderful weekend and have fun. Welcome back to your home. My microblogism. I hope you like the paint. I hope that turned out well for you today. So how's it going? Do we have much? Where's my things? There's my things. I got it. Nope, don't got it. Don't got it. There we go. Fixed it. Fixed things. Hobbs is here as well to welcome us as always. So we'll jump into things and stuff today. I think we'll be. She went back. Oh, she went. Yeah, Pasta's went back. I still gotta talk to you guys about visiting you all in Georgia, because I got places to be in Georgia anyway. So might as well go. So today we have ourselves. Where's my things? So hopefully everything's housekeeping. Not much with housekeeping. I should do my homework. That's about it. That's about all there is for housekeeping today. There really is just not much going on. However, I am very excited about today's beer of the week. We're doing a beer cocktail. We're still gonna stick with that theme. So I am very, very excited about beer of the week today. It is, I think, a thing that I've had in the past when I was in Mexico last winter. I think I had it then, so I don't think it's as new as the Wola whatever it was called last week, which was disgusting. Don't ever do that. I get the feeling it's a very German thing to do. Guys, I don't know how I feel. I know how I feel about the Wola. It's not good. You like to paint, but it's annoying. But it's gonna be annoying that I want to be able to shower for you won't be able to shower for like a week. Oh no. Just gotta let it dry more. That's hilarious. Oh goodness, car wash is faster, probably is cheaper too. Hobbs wants to cuddles. We're gonna try to avoid letting him cuddles because we got beer of the week. So we're gonna jump into beer of the week because it's actually rather elaborate. Last time we did something real stupid and I didn't like it, and that's okay. This time we're gonna do something. No, buddy, we're not gonna sit on me right now because I'm gonna move. You need to stop. I know you want cuddles. I know you do, buddy. I know you do. Okay, so we got ourselves beer cocktail of the week. Look, I made a thing for it. Isn't that exciting? Oh goodness, buddy. We have ourselves a michelada, which is a Mexican Bloody Mary. And we got all the ingredients here, so we're gonna actually prepare it on screen. It's gonna be fun. I've been looking forward to doing this for a little bit. It's got Mexican lager. We did use a Modelo, or we do have a Modelo to use today, so we'll stick to Modelo. I don't think it's very alcoholic. I think it's like 4-ish percent-ish. I think. Where are you? Brewed in Mexico. I think it's only like 4% alcohol. It's really not the most alcoholic thing in the world. So it's a very light beer. I use the Modelo Especial. I think there's a different, there's the Modelo and there's a not Modelo Especial. Okay. So we got that. We got Clamato. In case you don't know what Clamato is. Seafood and tomato juice. It's clam juice and tomato juice mixed together. It's delicious. I'm a fan of Clamato. I know people don't like Clamato, but that's a you problem. I love it. It's gonna be delicious. I'm so looking forward to it. It is the only beer cocktail that I like, and the only way I will drink tomato juice. Oh, good. I'm glad I picked a good one. It is very horrifying. Only if you think about it. Don't think about it. That's the important thing about these beer cocktails is that we are heathens. And we are doing awful things to beers, which is we're mixing them with other crap, which we shouldn't be doing. We should just enjoy beers for what they are. But we're going to be horrible. So the whole theme of this remaining however many of these we do is just don't think about the fact that we're doing horrible shit and just drink it. 3 to 4 splashes of hot sauce, more or less the taste. I brought Valentina. 2 splashes of Worcestershire sauce, which is also disgusting. Don't think about Worcestershire sauce either. Do not look up the recipe for Worcestershire sauce. It is fucking gross. That shit's gross, but we still have it. 2 splashes of Maggi sauce. I couldn't find Maggi sauce, so I did replace it with soy sauce. Juice of a lime. I have a whole lime here. And tahini seasoning, which is just salt, really. It's spicy salt. So this is going to be fun. Or better, notify your server and wait for the sound of the Gulf getting rage driven over the Atlantic. It's true. Okay. So, speaking of GeoStripper gets to make a nice little fun appearance today because we have ourselves all of our ingredients down here. Look at this. I have like a little shop. Hopefully, I can yell loud enough that y'all can hear me still while we're cooking. You might it might go down because I have to scoot over. This is as close. Can I get the mic any closer? Nope. That's it. We hit it. That's as close as we can get. So, we got ourselves a cup, ingredients. We're gonna cook. We're gonna do a fucking cook show. It's salt. Salt is salty, not spicy. This salt is spicy. This is salty spice. Salty spice? Salty salt. No, spicy salt. See, this is tahini. You can buy this. This is a Mexican thing, and you can buy this in stores. And it's obviously red because red means spicy. And it's really it's just lime and chili powder and salt. That's really all it is. So this is tahini. You can also use salt if you're a barbarian. So I got the recipe here. We're gonna do this. Okay, so we take some tahini. We're really just gonna salt ourselves the rim of our beer glass. And we got ourselves our lime. So we're gonna squeeze some lime. Wow. Squeeze some lime juice. There we go. Lime juice on the edge. So this is like more or less like you would do with any kind of rimming of dishes for drinks. So whatever your margaritas / whatever other things besides margaritas that do this. I think strawberry daiquiris do this as well. Bloody Marys do this. Oh, that is really loud and obnoxious. So we're just gonna try to get as much of this on here as we can because, you know, if you're gonna go through the trouble of making something stupid, you might as well drink it out of something that's kind of fancy looking. So there we go. Got ourselves a nice rimmed glass, and then we gotta do what's next. I think next we gotta do the clamato. So yes, clamato, if you do not know, is actually clam and tomato juice. That's 100% what this is. Again, I think it's a Mexican thing. I don't think it's an American thing. I don't think Americans are this weird. So we're gonna do about the recipe says about a quarter to a third. I'm gonna go with a third because I'm a bigger fan of clamato than most. So we're gonna go with about a third of the way up of clamato juice. Yay! I like cooking. This we gotta do like R&D cooks a meal every week kind of thing now. So this is kind of fun. This is a little fun setup too. I'm enjoying it. Okay. And then we add some hot sauce, and hot sauce is just a few. I should put it on the bigger screen. I don't know why I have the little screen here. Let's do that. There we go. So we can see better. Everyone can see better what disgusting shit we're doing. Some hot sauce. So we go 1, 2. Good enough. We'll add more later. I promise. Some hot sauce, and then a couple of splashes of soy sauce. Which I'm gonna put very little because I'm not as big of a fan of soy sauces. 1, 2, we'll go with that. 2 splashes of soy sauce. Soy sauce is it's not the worst, but it should really not be in drinks. I didn't have the Maggi sauce, and I couldn't find it. I think Maggi sauce is a very Mexican thing to put into things, so I just don't have it. And then Worcestershire sauce, again, don't look up what Worcestershire sauce is. It is gross. It's like rotten fish. Pretty much, so definitely don't look it up. And if it's not spicy enough, we will add more spices to it. And then we're just going to pour in our leftovers. Our leftover tahini, which we had a lot of leftover tahini, which is fine. This just makes it extra spicy, which is always good. Always good. When you want to drink something, make it nice and spicy. That's honestly the best way to have things. Finally, we're going to take our beer and fill it up the rest of the way with beer. Oh, look at that. And then you are supposed to stir it. I don't think I'm going to give it a stir. I think it's going to stir plenty. Oh my goodness, it's foaming. No. Oh, you going to stay? You going to stay? Ooh, there we go. Okay, we did all right. We did all right. And then you garnish with a lime. Look at this. I am fancy. We got a lime. Bam. Fucked that up a little bit. But we got there. I'm going to add a tad splash of lime into it because I like it to be limey. And that's it. We got ourselves our michelada. Look at that. Cooking with R&D. That was fantastic. So let's move. Okay, Hobbs. We're gonna have Hobbs cam because Hobbs is apparently very needy today. So we'll have Hobbs cam. He has been excruciatingly needy this week. Is this concoction any good? Look like a cucumber? Nah, it's got a lime. So, is this concoction any good? Yes. I haven't tried it. It is. Well, we're gonna try it though. Yes. Oh, that is real good. Not spicy enough though. not spicy enough. And we're gonna add a couple extra pot, a little bit more hot sauce. That's a lot more hot sauce. A little bit more hot sauce in there, and yeah, that's more or less it. It's delicious. It's good. It's refreshing and spicy. I love it. I love every bit of it. I don't think you get to complain about the color wall. This is fine. It's red. It's red is fine. Like, okay, so and Micro says this. Okay, bye. Good. I'm glad you were here for that amount of time, buddy. Much appreciated. Whoop. There we go. Right. So Micro, and you complained about this too. So I don't know why you're changing your tune all of a sudden. Like if you drink enough of it, like it started the foam on the top got all gross. It just got all gross and grosser, and I was just not a fan of it. It just terrible color, terrible taste. I'm just The beer was good, by the way. I did end up drinking it on its own as the sort of the show went on, and then I finished the 6-pack. So it was really good beer. Oh, that is good. Oh, spicy. Oh, that is delicious. I do love that. It is sacrilege. Do not do this to beers. I'm sure beers do not appreciate this, but for the name of science, we will destroy some beers for science. Everything for science. All right. I forgot to get Nightbot going. Not Nightbot. We don't have Nightbot anymore. Get Cloudbot going here, so that we can pick ourselves I'm just saying they both look kind of gross. I mean, sure. It's also got clam juice in it. Tahini's also delicious. That's really good. I'm not gonna lie, I love this. Also because I made it out of something. Oh, that's real good. I love it. Everything here is gross. We talk about gross things. All right. So speaking of gross things, we have ourselves a video menu. I have managed to more or less change everything in the video menu. More or less, I'm going to go with a more or less, because not everything's been changed. I got a couple of suggestions by Luke, so I added one of them because they're both by the same person, so I didn't add both of the suggestions. So as soon as one of them either gets picked or whatever, we'll switch it out for the other one. But we have ourselves, for this week's options, we have ourselves Abortions by Hannah Williams. If you don't know who Hannah Williams is, she is a friend of Paul and Morgan. There we go. She's actually a friend of Paul and Morgan's. Did I misspell Twitter? I would have misspelled Twitter. I'm just trying to double check if Nightbot is here or whatever, Cloudbot. She's one of those super pretty Christian girls who talk about how not being Christian and atheists are horrible people. She's one of those. She's one of those, people. She's just one of those people. 200K challenge. This was one by Luke. Luke suggested this one by Flat Earth Millionaire. He has it's a very short video, so I think if we pick that one, we'll probably end up with 2 different videos because it's very, very short. It's like a minute. And even with our slow asses, I think we can get there. So we will. If we pick that one, it'll definitely be a 2-video kind of show. 70-Year-Old Transitions by Blair White. Always good. And Immigration ARTV. What is ARTV? They did they're like super conservative Christian. They do a show called like the 14th Street or Down on 14th or something like that, where it's a liberal black guy versus a conservative white guy, and it's a little cringy. Just did I end up buying the software? No, I'm going to buy it though. I just haven't gotten around to buy it. I did decide that it will be bought, so maybe next week. Maybe next week. So I'll talk about that in a second. Maybe next week. So ARTV, they also did like a bunch of things on like end of the world shit. Like they're real nutty. Sell sex bullshit by We the Internet. We the Internet, again, super conservative people on the internet. They have a lot of anti-SJW, anti-liberal, anti-stuff, anti-climate change, kind of anti-science content. And they have this one lady. What's her name? Is the bot alive already? I don't think so. Someone else should try to type in something for the bot, see if the bot will show up. So there's this one lady. She's actually a doctor. She's got a doctorate in psychology, and she pretty much wrote. I don't know. I don't know if she managed to get them published, but she wrote a couple of books and blog posts and all that about um, how pretty much gender is not a social construct, and pretty much just shitting on the idea of gender and all this stuff. So she's one of those people, and that's what sex bullshit is all about. Is about her denying a bunch of sciencey things. So that's fine. Debunking Evolution is by Genesis Apologetics. I think we've had them on the show before. Again, just a young Earth creationist talking about evolution. Because why not? And then Christians talking about Netflix by Paul and Morgan. And I think on this one, Hannah Williams from the top of the list is actually in this video as well. She's a guest, and they criticize shows about how they're not Christian enough. It's pretty funny. Okay, so audio software thing. God, where are you, Cloudbot? Cloudbot, you should be here. Upside down eye, Twitter. Where are you, Cloudbot? Otherwise we're gonna. Oh no, you turned off. It's definitely off on this side. I don't know what's going on with you, Cloudbot. So the software thing. Pretty much. We had, if you might have missed it. People might have missed it because it happened kind of spontaneously. Last Friday, not this Friday, but Friday before that. The clinic that I work at was closed because the weather was absolute shit, and I decided not to go to work that day because the weather was absolute shit. So I stayed home. And at around noon, I decided to do a stream. It was entirely unplanned, but I did end up being able to have both Christy Abbey and microbloganism on the show, and we talked about stuff for a little while, about an hour and a half. Real good stuff, I tell you. And we talked about stuff, and one of the things that I brought up and would have been nice. What I wanted to do, of course, was maybe do a show and pick a video and all that, and have guests, commentate on it. And I've been having a hard time getting the audio from my computer to go through like Discord and stuff. So I have a way to pull the audio, like my desktop audio. I have a way to pull it and then pipe it into like OBS, obviously, because you can hear the videos and stuff, right? But I don't have a way to do that through Discord. There's no, like, you can share screens, but there's no way to share audio, at least not on a Mac. So I found a program. It's about $100. There it is. There's a Cloudbot. So good. About $100. And it pretty much will let me do that. It'll let me pipe. It's a digital mixer, so it'll let me pipe things back into each other, right? So I can take the audio from the computer and pipe it into Discord along with my microphone, which is the hard part, and then I can have guests to talk about things. So so that's maybe something. I know that I haven't done like a patron hangout in a while, but that might be kind of fun. Maybe for next week, guys. Patrons Evan, Luke, Micro, Ugly German Truths. If you guys want to come hang out next week, that might be a thing that we do, and just pretty much do the show, but have guests and things. So I'm trying to get that figured out. I figured out I tried the demo or whatever, and it worked fine in Discord. So now I just gotta buy it and set it up, and maybe set up a new little layout for guests and things. So I'm gonna try to have some guests. It was really fun to have Christy and Micro on, so I just kind of want to keep doing that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much it. Okay, Cloudbot has decided to show up at last. That bum. So if you would like to vote today on what you like to watch and talk about, you can do Upside Down Eye plus vote and the number you'd like to vote for. Again, our options are on the screen. We got Abortions by Hannah Williams, 2K Challenge by Flat Earth Millionaire, 5-Year-Old Transitions by Blair White, Immigration by ARTV, Sex Bullshit by We Are the Internet, Debunking Evolution by Genesis Apologetics, and Christians About Netflix by Paul and Morgan. So lots of fun choices today. And like I said, if you vote for number 2 and we get through it, we will probably go on to another video because that one's really short. The other ones I think are fairly long, so they're definitely going to be on the spicy. I got a big chunk of tahini there. So the other ones are definitely going to take us a little while to get there, but we will get there. So yeah. So I'd like to get some guests. I know that I talked about getting like Scientist Mel on here. I have yet to reach out to her, and I really want to, but I keep getting really busied up with school and things. Really, Paul and Morgan? You have no taste. Paul and Morgan's always fun, though. They are so much fun. So yes, so I do want to have some more guests. I would like to have Christy Abbey on here again. If you don't know, things you should know, if you don't know, and you should go do is one, go check out my interview with Christy Abbey on her channel. I think you just look up Christy Abbey, but I will try. Maybe someone else can try to get a link. Go check her out. So I did an interview with her. Microbloganism also did an interview with her, so you can go check out. No, you didn't. Sorry, Microbloganism did one with Objectively Subjective. Wrong person. So you can go there. The other one that you can do is I was on Objectively Subjective like a week, almost 2 weeks ago. Had an interview with them. Also worth checking out. Definitely. It was a lot of fun. We talked about Nebraska and beer and stuff. It was fantastic. So you definitely should go do that. And then you confuse Maddie and Micro. I confuse Maddie and and Christy because Micro has been on Objectively Subjective before. So those are all places you should go check out and we talk about things. Also, and so this isn't. I'm gonna say that it's not 100% yet. Well, you can't because he hasn't re-released it. Oh, that was he did it on that was on when he was when they were, what was their name before? Shoot. Godless Iowan. That's the name of the Godless Iowan. So I guess not. Godless Iowan. Oh, maybe we got him to release that again. I'm telling you all, I'm really liking this. There's a lot of sediment on the bottom though, so I might get a spoon and. Ooh, I have a chopstick. What has this chopsticks been used for before? Who knows? We're gonna use it to stir things though. What else was I gonna say? Okay, so I don't know how like 100% this is yet. We did talk about it, and so I want to say that it's 80-ish% that this will happen. But if you would like to, if you do not have enough R&D in your life, and or microbloganism in your life, I think next Saturday night at 2 o'clock my time, so take now and add an hour and a half to it, and then that's your time. People who are live, everyone else, sorry. 2 o'clock my time. No, 4 o'clock. Shoot, can't time. 3.5 hours from now. From now, microbloganism, myself, Curiosity, and Jess, who I don't think has a YouTube channel but is on the Twitters. Jess will all be on Christy Winter's channel. So you should 23 Central European. There you go. We will all be on Christy Winter's channel doing D&D. Curiosity is our DM, and we've been doing this weekly thing for October, September, sometime then. September, right? I think it was in September. Since September. Just like Size Striking, no. Different Jess. I don't think related to like any of the things that we do. I think he's just on Twitter. Honestly, I think he's just some rando, which is fine. He's a hilarious rando, like great guy and all that. But I don't think he's got any affiliation with any of the crazy shit that I'm usually part of. But that's definitely go. So if you like to, we're gonna do our D&D. It's called something, I'm sure. I'm sure it's got a name. We are at level 5. I think we can start the next session at level 5, or we will at level 5 when we get there. I don't know. We get to level up. So think about things. So if you'd like to go watch us be silly, I play a tabaxi, which is a cat, for obvious reasons. A monk because I don't know, religion, because I like to punch things, I guess. Which pretty much means that I play my character as if I were Hobbes. So I'm just kind of a cat. And then Micro plays a something small and lizard-like. Something small and lizard-like and likes fire. So we like fire a lot. It's a fun group. So if you'd like to check this out, that's going to be on Saturday in Christy Winter's channel. Kobold, thank you. In Christy Winter's channel, there isn't like a hangout set up or anything, so I can't like link it to you. But go check out Christy Winter's channel anyway, because she's fantastic. So just Not that she needs my fucking support, but go check her out. She's got some great content and whatnot as well. With 40%, number 7 wins. But you're a cat according to your avatar. So it's pretty much exactly why I chose to be a cat. Sounds like Order of the Stick. Yes, no, we definitely set everything on fire, like, constantly. It's real bad. It's real bad. So, I don't know, preview of last season that you never got to see. We were supposed to sneak into somebody's home, and we realized that of the whole party, like, I'm sneaky, but I'm not actually good at breaking into things. I'm just sneaky. So none of us knew how to open doors, and so we decided one of the paladin in our team has a giant hammer, and so we just started breaking down doors, and then at some point we just kind of gave up on the whole being stealthy thing and just kind of ransacked the house. Because we gave up because we were doing awful at trying to be sneaky, so we just kind of gave up, and then since then we just kind of been lighting everything on fire. So it's great. So it's been fun. It's been a fun campaign. Again, if you'd like to join us for that at 23 Central European time on Saturday at Christy Winters' channel. Again, maybe, because 80-ish% chance that that'll happen. I was stealthy. Don't you read that shit. Oh yeah, no, that you said me. I was stealthy yesterday. I did murder 2 people in their sleep. That was fun. Actually, no, that was a little bit worse than that. I think it would have been better if they were in their sleep. I murdered a guard while he was playing with his dog, which I'm pretty sure makes me a horrible human being. But I'm a cat, so it's fine. Okay, that's not the one I want. Okay, so we got ourselves. The winner of today's poll has been Paul and Morgan and Hannah. So you kind of get a mix of both Hannah and Paul and Morgan, which always fun. If they do their little fucking jingle with like a guest there, I'm gonna be embarrassed for their guest. Like, oof, it is rough. I can't imagine trying to be like a guest on their show. Surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly enough, but they did do a video sort of talking about people's assumptions about them, and. Hannah Montana, yeah, about their assumptions, and one of the things that they talked about is how, like, all the critics that they have, which they have a lot of, obviously. And so I thought that was neat. I wish they don't respond to critics, which I don't blame them for, honestly, because there's a lot of us and we're kind of assholes. So I don't blame her for just being like, nah, don't want to. Okay, so full name of the video is called Our Criteria for TV Shows Living Together Before Marriage. They live together before marriage? Wait. Where's the like the dun 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 thing? You're not supposed to do that, Morgan. You hypocrite. Okay, so they sit. So I watched a little bit of it. They kind of sit around and talk about shows that they find are like not appropriate for Christians to watch. So that's a thing, I guess. I don't know. Like I will criticize you for the shows that you watch. But that's because I'm a judgmental asshole. Like, you're not an immoral person for watching crappy TV shows. I'm just an asshole. That's all, right? Like, it's more of a reflection on me, not on you. But we might skip around because I do want to get to the living together before marriage part. I don't know if they live together before marriage or if they're just gonna be judgmental assholes about the fact that other people do live together before marriage, which I would strongly recommend, like, everybody do. Like, everybody should, before marriage, live together, because a lot, like, God, getting like, it's not just intimacy, but just, like, getting to know what works. Like, there's so many little things that you don't realize annoy you until you have to spend a whole lot of time with somebody. Till you have to share a space with them. And then you realize that, yeah, it's a thing. Okay. The camera has made the same choice and focus on the plants. Yep. So on the very left there, that is Hannah. So that is the other potential. So you have to watch her. potential person for a video. So you got sort of a preview of Hannah. Everybody should be a judgmental asshole. We're all judgmental assholes. I'm the worst judgmental asshole. That's the problem. I'm just the worst of them. So yeah, so there's Hannah. Again, pretty Christian girl saying bigoted shit most of the time. Kind of lady, right? Super conservative Christian person. Which seems to be the popular YouTube thing now. Like, I don't know. At first it was fucking, what are they called? Mystery egg openings, and then Let's Players, and now we have, pretty Christian ladies. This is practically a threesome. Yeah, it is. Okay, so with all of that said, we are avoiding talking about this. They're gonna do their jingle, and I hate it.
A movie that she watched previous to us dating, and I almost dumped her. What's up, guys?
He brings that up later, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if that were true. Like, I know he's saying it in jest, Paul is, but I would not in any way, shape, or form be surprised if he would actually dump his girlfriend because she watched a movie that he did not approve of. Like, Paul is that much of an asshole that he would do that. He would totally break up with Morgan for that. It's a little loud. Yeah, let's see. We'll turn up me and then turn you down, and then we'll see how that goes.
How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Hannah.
And this is the Paul and Morgan, the Paul and Morgan Show. So,
oh no, don't encourage them, Hannah. Don't encourage them. That's a bad idea, Hannah. That's terrible. You should not reinforce this behavior. It is such a terrible intro, guys.
today's video is another episode of The Drop. We're going to be talking about, is it wise to live together before marriage?
TV show and movie criteria. Ooh.
Let's dive right in.
Okay. The Drop. Yeah, I don't. That's the name of their show. Somebody who has a show called Longer and Harder should probably not be so judgmental of somebody whose show is called The Drop. I should probably not be the judgment. You all, who have way better, way higher standards than I do, should probably criticize their name, but not me. Not me. You cringe so hard at the intros, always. It is both the worst and the best part about their videos. It is a thing. It's like a rite of passage. Like, if you can get through the intro, you can handle the rest of their video, but you have to pay the toll first. Alright, here we go.
Make sure you subscribe to this channel. We make Christian videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope.
And be free. Our first drop is...
It is our criteria on TV shows and movies.
Yeah, so someone actually commented on our first drop. They did the correct hashtag, The Drop with P&M. Well done. And they said, what's your criteria?
Okay. It's not a joke or a pun or anything. It's true. Longer and Harder is great. Good. Sugar should be a show called The Drop should be about electronica. Oh, electronica. Sorry, I got there eventually. Now I thought about electrician, so now I'm gonna say a dad joke that I'm stealing from Concordance. Also, you should follow Concordance on Twitter because they have the best dad jokes ever. They're also really cool individual, but Concordance had this one, so this is not an R&D dad joke, but I thought it was great. Which was when the okay, I'm gonna get the wording of this side. When the shabby, let's go with shabby. When the shabby defibrillator didn't work, no one was shocked. I hate the fact that my wife isn't here to make fun of me for that. You missed beer of the week. It's okay. It's red and gross and lovely. I love it. I'm still gonna laugh at my own joke. Beer of the week hashtag is a beer cocktail called michelada. It's got clam juice. Boo. It's got clam juice and hot sauce in it. It's fucking delicious and I love every bit of it, but it does have clam juice. and beer. And it's super red, and I love it. I love it. Clam juice, yeah. It's got clam juice. It's got clamato, which is clam juice and tomato. But, I mean, it's clam. It's only 31% juice, too. Okay, so let's
on movies, on TV shows. And I think this is a really good thing to talk about because I think a lot of people, a lot of Christians are in this boat of, we got Netflix, we got Hulu, Disney Plus. Like, it's all here, and we enjoy watching film, we enjoy watching TV shows and movies, but also, like, we're watching these shows and we're experiencing some conviction. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but wait, can I watch this show? I feel kind of convicted. Some of the show's great.
Okay, so, as somebody, clamato sounds like STD, it does a little bit. So, one, as somebody who subjects himself to watching garbage on the internet and who went to theaters to go watch God's Not Dead and like a couple of the top Twilight movies, who subjects himself to horrible watching experiences, you all need to calm down about this shit. Like, this unnecessary guilt about what you watch is so, it brings me back to when I was a Catholic, when I was a good Catholic boy. I was never a good Catholic boy, but when I was a good Catholic boy, one of the things, of course, that you struggle with, and you learn this very quickly if you're Catholic, is constantly feeling guilty. And it was honestly the best part about realizing that I was an atheist, was like all the guilt went away, and I was like, I don't feel the need to feel guilty right now. And so this is just such unnecessary levels of guilt. Paul and Morgan and Hannah. It's one, feel free to enjoy pretty much anything that brings you joy. As long as it's, more or less legal. I'm gonna go with more or less legal. As long as consenting adults are involved, feel free to enjoy whatever it is that you enjoy. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. Like, you shouldn't. God, I hate this about Christianity and sort of the not just Christianity, but kind of the big three religions, about making you feel real guilty about shit that you shouldn't feel guilty about, right? This is the same kind of nonsense as like feeling guilty about being attracted to someone of the sex gender as you, or feeling guilty about sex, or honestly just feeling even and this happens to just heterosexual couple, like cis heterosexual couples have to deal with this because Christianity is so fucked up that you feel guilty about just being attracted to someone else, like physically attracted. You have that guilt. That's just unnecessary. Like that, like you shouldn't have to feel guilty about any of this. You shouldn't have to feel guilty about what kind of movies you watch, what kind of shows you watch on TV, what you eat, maybe what you eat if you want to actually, if you have a diet or whatever. But, you shouldn't have to, and I'm just joking, you shouldn't really have to feel guilty about these steaks. Fuck umami. Umami is tasty in certain amounts. I had an umami Bloody Mary and it was gross. Don't do that. Being horny is a kink in Christianity. It's true. Like, it's you all gotta like tone it down. It's such an awful way to live your life, is to constantly feel guilty about things that genuinely no one cares about, right? Especially when, like, at this point, you shouldn't like when you're feeling guilty about the things that not just that you do in the privacy of your own home, but that can literally involve absolutely no one but yourself. I feel like you've taken it to quite the extreme, where you feel guilty just about enjoying a movie or a show. Like, calm down. So they're going to tell us their criteria for some shows, and which I'm not sure if they actually give us any recommendation on what's a good show or a bad show, but they are going to give us their criteria about what is a good Christian, or what kind of Christian shows to watch. I don't know.
Like, it's really funny and good, but then it crosses the line. So what do we do?
I was watching Anne with an E.
No!
Anne of Green Gables.
No!
The books and stories that I grew up hearing my mom would read to me. Then
What happened?
they have to throw in their political agenda of feminism, just all this stuff that was not in the books.
I don't. What book did she say? Probably was in your book. Just so you know, it probably was in your book. There's a good chance. Fun thing. Oh God, I'm having so much fun right now. I'm taking an English literature class, which, if you don't know, I have an English degree. Which means taking a college level English class is so much fun because it's way easy. And I've already like done it a billion times, so I'm having like an absolute blast taking this class. But one of the things that we've been talking about now is this idea, which isn't, it's not a revolutionary idea, but for some people it is, that literature, and I will extend that to movies and whatnots. But she's talking about books. Literature doesn't have a single theme or a single interpretation of it. Like, that's one of the beauty of literature, is that you can find, some of them might be a little bit more outlandish than others, but you can find meaning however you see it. Like, so you might not have seen it, Morgan, whatever the book you were talking about, you may not have seen the feminist themes in there. There's a good chance that they were probably in there. At least somebody spotted them, so they were probably in there, and you were just being super sensitive about, like, oh no, they're pushing our politics. Or the thing is, it's not like, oh God, we're gonna go into politics things. The thing about, like, all this, like, they're pushing their politics, it's not like, I dare you to find me a movie that doesn't push some political viewpoint to some degree. Every movie will do that. It's just that this one is just a political viewpoint that you don't like, right? You like watch older movies that push more conservative things to you, like, and newer ones, I guess, according to you, push more liberal ones, which you don't like. But it's not like the movies that you like don't push a conservative or a Christian worldview. It's just that you don't see it because it doesn't bother you. So this really isn't like, oh, all these people, they're pushing politics onto me when I just want to sit down and enjoy a movie. No, it's that they're probably not even pushing anything. It's just that they're exposing you to political themes that you weren't aware of before. Oh goodness. That was a hashtag had a good comment here. Oh, we got the fearful sex talk. Oh, yeah, basically said that we'd end up with an STD or pregnant every time, but no education on masturbation. I didn't find out or try myself until 20. Ooh, that's rough. Yeah, it's a whole lot. My wife can usually talk to. I grew up in a relatively conservative household with my parents. Not that, like, they're rather liberal now, but Catholic conservative. My wife is the one who went to, like, a Christian school, so she can usually talk about, like, sort of her experience in going through a Christian school and how much like the sex thing was kind of like at her college. When she went to college, you couldn't, obviously sex was not allowed. But even things like dating was extremely, like, you dated for marriage. You didn't date for fun. You didn't date because you liked the person. You dated for marriage, like, exclusively for marriage. I think her school went far enough as to say, like, you couldn't go dancing and things. Like, interacting with boys for her was a big taboo unless you did it in public or with, whatever, with a group of friends. So a lot of dates was like, you went on dates with a group of friends. You didn't necessarily, do a date with someone else because, the devil may tempt you to do things or whatever. Non-political is a marketing term used by people who don't want to question the narrative they are selling. It's true. It's it's the thing that and I'm not, because I play video games, so I'm not necessarily shitting on all gamers, so hashtag not all gamers, right? But it's a thing that the gamers bitch about all the time, like, oh, video games now are so political. I miss old video games that had no politics in them. Like, no, bitch, they were there. It's just that you didn't fucking notice, right? Like, you can't sit around and play Call of Duty and then pretend like video games used to not have politics, and it's now all of a sudden a big thing that's being pushed on you. Like really, oh god, like they politics are not just in like video games forever. Like they're in everything. Everything's gonna have some amount. Someone's gonna try to push their not necessarily push seems like too strong a word. Someone's gonna express their political views in some way, shape, or another into literature, movie, TV shows, artwork, whatever. And some of it you can interpret that stuff, whether it's there or not. So you are just probably, I don't even know what show you're talking about, but my guess is that you're just being super sensitive about something that probably isn't there. It's like what was the thing? Was it Celeste? There was a game that came out not too long ago, and I'm going to describe this and butcher it. But it had a single an image that had this girl, I think it was a girl, working on her desk, and on her desk at the very corner there was I think it was a trans flag or a pride flag, the whatever, the blue, pink, white flag thing, right? It had that in the corner of her desk, and some dude on the internet is absolutely losing his shit over the fact that there's a pride flag in this video game. And it's just this tiny little thing in the corner of the computer that you don't, like, people pointed out, like, you don't actually notice that until you zoom in on the picture and remember to, and pay attention to it. Otherwise, you could ignore it and, pay attention to the whole thing. I feel like Paul and Morgan are probably at that point where they're looking for things to be upset, right? Like, this is that reactionary and the right-wing reactionary thing where you're just, I feel like, just gonna go out of your way to find something to be upset about that's probably not there. That was Celeste. Oh, good. I remember the artwork. It's unnecessary, guys. It really is unnecessary. Okay, well, we'll watch a little bit more of this before we take a break, get some more beer juice, clam juice, and whatnots.
And I'm just like, why? And it's just Netflix. Netflix cannot put out a TV show or movie without there being an intense political agenda behind it. And it's so frustrating. And I'm like, okay.
Okay, so, one, if this is really your complaint, fucking unsubscribe from Netflix, right? Like, I'm gonna go with full out capitalist here. Free market that shit, right? Don't support Netflix then. If you're tired of the shows that Netflix is putting out there, don't fucking support it. It's fine. We did why did Spider-Man need a gay flag in it? None of those were in New York ever. I know, right? Now we find the politics in all the games. Just don't use Netflix, Morgan. Don't, if you're unhappy with them, don't use Netflix. Go find your whatever. Go the Blaze. What is it? Pureflix. Thank you. Go to Pureflix. Go watch God's Not Dead for the 16th time. There's a whole trilogy on God's Not Dead. I really gotta watch the other ones. Go watch a Kirk Cameron movie. You have your movies made for you. Go watch them. There's no one is forcing you to watch this shit. No, you don't have to like it. Just don't watch it. Go watch something else. You can be like, and again, Pureflix is actually a really good example about, like, hey, how often does Pureflix not have a movie that doesn't have a overtly political message in it? They don't. That's what they do. They make propaganda. They make Christian propaganda. It's always, your complaint is rather silly, Morgan. It's really, really, really silly. Okay, a little bit more.
Do I just stop watching?
Right, so you're obviously passionate about this. What conclusion did you come to on Anne of Green Gables?
Well,
And with an E.
And with an E, like, although they have a political agenda in some of the episodes, like, I still can fully enjoy it. Like, I think it is a clean show. There's not really, like, language in it. There's not, like, sex. It's like, it's a pure show. I can look.
It's a pure show. It's a pure show. Devoid of human things. I love it. Oh no, Pikmin pro-slavery. Pikmin is very pro-slavery. They will one day rise up and take sees the means of production, so Pikmin. Yeah, no, can you imagine TV shows with sex and language? Something that's normal and people do all the time. I can't believe that they would stick that in a TV show that's supposed to reflect reality in any way, shape, or form. God, can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Can you imagine TV shows portraying something normal like sex as normal? Like, oh God. Eat the Oliver. I want a shirt with that. Eat the Oliver. God, I gotta play more Pikmin. Pikmin's fun. It's like I now I have to. What did she say? Hannah with an E. Hannah with an E. Is that the show? She said I'm gonna have to go watch it. See how pure it is. Oh, Morgan, you're so silly.
Pass the political agenda.
And if you want an even better version, just watch Anne of Green Gables. Those are...
Yeah.
Gilbert Blythe. Yeah, I've gone into some Netflix shows in the past and just watching them, and I'm like, should I really be watching this show? This was actually back in high school. I started watching some shows. One was that 13 Reasons Why show.
Oh, that's a good one to watch.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my gosh.
13 Reasons Why. I've never seen that show. What's it about? Who knows? You gotta calm down a little bit here, Hannah. Sorry, I'm making another one of these tasty beer things as I talk. You gotta come down just a little bit. That's Tricaria Prime, by the way. You know what has a lot of like sex and violence? The fucking Bible. It's true. It does have a lot of sex and violence. And I bet people from before Jesus' time, probably, or before the Bible was written, probably would have seen the Bible as like too much harsh language. Talks about God, it's extremely violent. You know what I find fascinating? We're gonna sort of. I'm trying to talk and make drinks at the same time, which is a bad idea. 13 Reasons Why is awful. Okay. One of the things that I always find fascinating about movies and TV shows, especially in the States, is how we pretty much ban or try our best to ban sex, which again, perfectly normal thing that people do. We ban sex and we ban sexuality in pretty much every way and form, shape, or whatever. But we're pretty okay with all the violence, which I always find just fascinating. How much the U.S. cares more about banning sexuality and banning sex than they care about banning violence. And I don't think you should necessarily ban either of them, but I do always just find it really funny that's the thing that always gets censored. It's the sex and the naughty words, and not the violence. Speaking of which, I've been watching. My wife's been watching. I shouldn't say I, but my wife's been watching The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Amazon, and there's this character. What's his name? Lenny Bruce, and he's a comedian, and he gets arrested all the time for. Pretty much, this is like in the 1930s, I think, 1940s. Pretty much gets arrested all the time for doing comedy shows where he says like naughty words or talks about naughty subjects. The main character, Mrs. Maisel, gets kicked off of show because she was talking about her friend being pregnant, and the owner of the club was like, no one wants to listen to women. No one wants to listen to a woman talk about being pregnant. That's gross. It's so, and I mean, it's, the prudishness of the time, but it's so telling that those are the things that we get all super upset about, is talking about, women being pregnant or having sex or doing kinky things. Like it's fine. It's fine. These are all perfectly normal things. Banning the banning of sex is also a kink. Okay. So, with that said, I made another drink, but we're going to take a break. We're at about that point. So we'll take a break. I'm going to make more of this beer goodness here. And then we will be back in a few minutes. So enjoy yourself some royalty-free music, some fan art, and I will see you all in a little bit. Alright, and we're back with more Paul and Morgan and all the peeps and stuff. Alright, so we got some beer refills. Not really, I just used up the one that I had. But I have another beer, so I can make another one in the middle of the stream if we have to. We'll get there. It's just good. It's just delicious. This, Geo Strebber, who's not here, is how you make a beer cocktail. So good. Just the right amount of clam. Right amount of clam in this. Oh. The more I think about the fact that I'm drinking clam juice, still it bothers me a tad bit, but it's real good. Yeah. So, well, that said, I did see Hobbs. Hobbs, where'd you go? Oh, no, it's other cat. Other cat's here. Okay. So, with that said, let's listen to a little bit more of what Paul and Morgan has to say. I might skip ahead a little bit because I do want to get to the part where they're super judgmental about people living together before marriage. I want to get to that part. So once we get there, or once we listen to a little bit more of this, I think we're going to skip ahead to the super judgmental living together part.
Can we calm it down a little bit, Morgan? Can we take it from up here and bring it down just a notch?
They have to get my sassiness at least once.
They've gotten it, okay.
But I started watching that show because so many people my age, Christians, were posting on social media that they're watching the show. And I'm like, oh, okay, it must be like a really good show.
So did we ever find out what 13 above or whatever, what is this called? The Super 13? What is this? It was a thing. Ugly German Truth Theory of a Combat. A girl commits suicide and sends out 13 tapes to the people she blames for driving her to death. Ooh, that sounds cringy. Okay, so, that sounds interesting. I mean, it sounds interesting. It sounds like Micro doesn't like it, but it sounds like an interesting show nonetheless. I like this face we got going on there. Very good, very good. Super judgmental. Do you have to activate your Zords? It's true. Super judgmental Power Rangers. Oh God.
And it can't be that bad. So I started watching it, and I'm like, oh my word! Like, Christians are watching this show. This is like evil, and all this evil stuff is happening. So
okay. I haven't watched the show, so I'm gonna be judgmental without watching it. I'm impressed that you are annoyed that evil things happen in a TV show. not like, God, even most like goody two shoes Disney movies, evil shit happens. So I'm amazed that you are bothered that evil things happen in a show. Like, that's usually where the conflict kind of shows up. Oh, hello, phone. Where the conflict usually shows up is somebody is doing something evil. So wait, so now shows shouldn't have bad guys? I guess. Like, I'm really curious as to what what would you watch then if you can't have anyone who's evil? Even your dumb Christian propaganda, and I know it's not like particularly your Christian propaganda, but even dumb Christian propaganda like God's Not Dead like has an evil atheist doing evil shit, a couple of evil atheists doing evil shit. Like, even the crap that's made for you all has evil shit in it. Like, I'm really curious, like, as to why. Like, are people assholes in this show? Probably. They probably are assholes in this show. But that's part of life. I feel like you need an antagonist, and you can't have an antagonist who's just super nice. Like, that's I don't think that works, Morgan or Hannah or whichever one you are. Yeah, there's no evil people in the Bible.
Decided not to get Netflix after that, and I'm not like a huge TV watcher just because of like all the filthy language and like the sexual content and the nasty stuff. I'm like, my ears ain't trash cans, yo.
Whoa, that is, hey, someone put that.
Oh, calm yourself down, Paul. I don't get it. Why don't they just not watch the movies that are bitching about? Is that an opinion, an option? That is sort of like, at this point, Paul and Morgan, you're no better than like the Quartering or any of those other crazy reactionaries who get super pissy about who spend all of their time getting unnecessarily upset about things that have no real impact on their life. Like, you are choosing, right? You are choosing to watch these shows. You are choosing to partake in Netflix. You are choosing to partake in these shows. And it's one thing to be like, oh, I don't, I watched movie X and I didn't like it and I'm going to be critical of it. It's an entirely different thing to be like, all of these movies suck that are on this one, that are on Netflix. Why, it's like, then don't fucking have Netflix. You don't have to have Netflix. Nobody's forcing you to have Netflix. Just go outside or something. They are basically the Quartering. They are very, very, very basically the Quartering. Like, God. I would, if nothing else, I will gladly watch these three talk than I would the Quartering, because God, fucking Quartering. So he's already bitching. I should add his video, because he's already bitching about the next Captain Marvel movie, which was, I mean, not just announced, but it was announced that it was in production. And he's already like falling apart over Captain Marvel because he's a sexist asshole on the internet and he feels the need to get all pissy about something that hasn't come out yet. Why are you upset about something that isn't even, like, you don't know what content's gonna be? Why are you upset?
Not on a shirt.
I've noticed with Paul, when we got married, like, my standards went way up high, like, got way higher, because before I was dating him, married to him, I watched literally anything. Like, I didn't really care.
She told me a movie that she watched previous to us dating, and I almost dumped her.
You did not.
Okay, I didn't almost dump her, but I literally, like...
Again, he made this joke at the beginning. I am not at all surprised. Like, I don't actually think that that's a joke. Like, you all are so easily offended that I don't genuinely think that you're kidding. Like, I do think you would end your marriage or your relationship, that you care more about what Morgan watches on her free time. You care more about that than you care about Morgan. That would not in any way, shape, or form surprise me if that were true. That you care more about that stuff than anything else. It's God. Yay, Veterans Hour has been angry about Picard for 2 weeks now because homosexuality activist Patrick Stewart said something HJW on the series. Gasp. I know, right? Oh, God. Hey, Gio, how's it going? God, it's too much. It's too much, I swear. What was the thing that people got pissy about? Somebody got real pissed because She-Ra, the new cartoon show on Netflix, has multiple, at this point, multiple. I think when it first came out, it was the first season, but at this point has multiple gay couples in it. Including Adora and what's her name, Katra. I think they're, if I don't know how, but they're a thing that gets shipped often together. And people were super pissed that not, like, again, it wasn't, no one was pushing anything. They're just showing a typically loving couple, and they just happen to be the same gender, and people lose their shit over that. Like, people lose their shit over something that is so benign as showing two people liking each other, being romantically attracted to each other, and then people lose their shit. because He-Man and She-Ra were never super gay at all. It's too much. It's too much. Geo Server, by the way, this week's beer of the week, cocktail of the week, is way better than your Woola. I have drank 2 of them. It is delicious, and I love it, and I'm never taking your suggestion again. Okay.
I think
we're gonna, like, maybe another minute or two, and then I'm gonna skip ahead to living together.
I reflected on that for like days, and I was like, okay, who am I dating here? It did show like her standards were disappointingly low, or maybe just naive.
Yeah, she married you, jackass. She's got some low standards. Sorry, I'm really mad at you. I'm really mad at your judgmental ass. I can't believe that you are so hurt over somebody else's taste. Like, you care so much more about what she watches than you care about her. And this really, your relationship hurts me. Like, it genuinely hurts me to see your relationship. It's just, oof. It's too much. Okay, a little bit more.
When it comes to what she was putting into her eyes.
It was naive. And I think a lot of you guys, and I say this in the most loving, like, genuine way, we are
Okay, no. You're saying this in the most judgmental, jackassery way.
very, very naive.
Yeah.
That we think that, like, oh, language, that doesn't affect us.
Right.
Oh, sexual content, that I don't lust. That doesn't bother me when I see that stuff. It doesn't affect me. Oh, they're struggling with depression. That doesn't bother me.
Jesus fuck, Morgan. God. Are you Morgan. I've called you a lot of things. Are you really annoyed? Are you really upset that there's depression? Something that affects millions of people in the country and way more in the world. Something that affects just about everyone in the world. And you're upset that it's portrayed in movies and shows. Morgan is a bitch. I have no problem saying that. I think I've called you a bitch before, and I think you deserve it. And I try not to call women bitches because I understand the sexist repercussions of that. And I'm willing to make exceptions for you because goddamn, Morgan, it's depression. Stop with this shaming of people with depression. It's unnecessary, it's unhelpful, it's dangerous. Just stop. It's okay that depression is shown in a realistic or fashion in TV shows. It's okay that people talk about the fact that they're depressed. It's better that they do that than not. It's better that we normalize depression as something that all of us have to deal with, either acutely or what's the other one? Whatever the other one, I forget what the other word besides acute is. Who have to deal with depression. It's okay that we normalize the fact that this is what people deal with. And we shouldn't be trying to hide the fact that that's a thing that happens to us just because it makes you fucking uncomfortable. Hey, Obring. Hey, Nick. I haven't heard from Obring in a long time. How are you? I hope you're having yourself a good day. Morgan is Herender, is shrew, an obnoxious, whiny banshee. She is a banshee. God. She's the worst. I am not a fan of her. Okay. I don't want to take a break. I do want to skip ahead. Because this, I'm done with this part. So I want to see them be judgmental about people living together. So we're going to skip ahead a little bit to that. And also I'm going to try to listen and make another one of my clam beers.
Us, we've never watched it, but I
was like iffy on them just because, you know, every once in a while they can have something that's kind of like.
This Office is the best show ever.
Okay, wow.
I think we've covered it. So guys, before
Good, we've covered it. It only took them half of the video. It only took half the video for them to cover it. Okay, we're gonna do another. You know what? We'll pause and do this appropriately-ish. For those of you who showed up late, which is fine, and are wondering what I'm drinking, what gross nonsense R&D is drinking. We are drinking a michelada, which is a Mexican Bloody Mary, which we need a Modelo and clamato juice, which is clam juice and tomato juice put together. We pour that in a cup, and then we pour a bunch of other crap inside, and then we mix it together with a chopstick. It is delicious, and I love it, and it's spicy. It's real spicy. Have fun with your live stream, man. Just stop by to say hi. Well, thank you, Nick. I will talk to you later. All right, we got ourselves some Worcestershire sauce. Also, don't look up what that is. Some soy sauce. There's soy sauce in this. And I love some soy sauce. And we'll put in some hot sauce. Lots of sauce. All the sauce. I am a little mad about the not having the McGee sauce. That would be great. And we're doing like a little bit more than a little bit of hot sauce. And then a little bit of lime. Here, lime. Lime juice. And some tahini. And some Modelo. And beer. Okay, that's an empty one. What's the full one? Ah, there we go. So, mix it all together. Ooh. It's bubbly. Stop bubbling. Give it a good mix. And we got ourselves another fabulous rice. I am loving this one. How is Worcestershire sauce gross? It's just vinegar with stuff in it. It's got like fish heads. It's like rotten fish heads. I think. Look up what Worcestershire sauce is. It's gross. It's not. It's not good to think about. It's super gross. There are videos about it because it's super gross. It sounded like Rhett looked up how it's made and how the squeamish about the fermenting fish. There it is. Okay. So with that said, okay, so I think we're at the being super judgmental about people living together section of the video.
We get on to drop number 2. We got a merch announcement.
Okay, what? You lied to me, bitch.
On our YouTube videos. Well, one of the latest comments.
It says, sex, and this is in all caps right
All caps.
Sex is something normal. And
Wait, you need to read it like, let me read it, because there's a correct way to read this, because it's in all caps, and you have to read it correctly.
I wasn't reading it correctly.
No. Sex!
I like how hurt Paul is about that. Paul, you didn't do something right, and Morgan's calling you out on it. Better divorce her.
Is something normal! They like spaced out NORMAL. And there is nothing wrong with having it before marriage. OMG, can't believe this.
I mean, I gotta tell you something here, Morgan. Sex is the thing that keeps our species alive, so I would say that it's perfectly normal. I mean, I wouldn't, of course they picked that comment as to say, I wouldn't have left you a comment like that. I think that's a really dumb way to leave a comment. But besides that, yeah, it's like it is perfectly normal. Hate to break it to you, but there are anchovies in a load of foods as one of the few species that comes from, it's one of the few spices that come from animals. It's still gross. It's still fermented fish.
Okay, so they were obviously not happy with us.
No, because you're judgmental assholes. We should prohibit sex and let the show end here. It's true. No, people are upset because you're judgmental assholes about things that are perfectly normal, right? That I like, God, of things to be upset about, right? Especially considering the shit that goes on in the world, right? The things that you get upset about, right? The things that you decide that you're going to make shows about, or consenting adults having sex. That is what you choose to make videos about. That is what you choose to do, like week after week. Is you choose to get upset with 2 or more consenting adults do in the privacy of their own home that do not affect you. That is what you want to get upset about. Considering the fact that considering the size of your platform, especially your platform, especially the Christian platform, how you could talk about things like child marriages, which are extremely popular within the Christian church, which are perfectly legal in many extremely conservative states, how you could talk about those kinds of things. You could use your giant platform to inform your fellow Christians about the fact that Christians marry children and then fuck them. You could do something good with that, but instead, you get mad at adults fucking each other. That's why people get mad at you, Morgan. It's not because people want to sin. It's because your priorities are fucked up. That you decide that 2 consenting adults having intimacy in any way, shape, or form is worth your fucking attention over the horrible ass shit that your fucking church is involved in. I'm done. Okay, take your bets. Do we think Paul and Morgan have done any other position other than missionary? I would be surprised if they have had sex without a blanket or a fucking sheet between them, honestly. Or if they have actually undressed in front of each other. Okay. Most Christians don't do that. It is far more coming among Muslims. I know that not all Christians do that, right? I'm not saying like all Christians. I'm gonna put the not all Christians hashtag here. Not all Christians do that. I entirely understand that. In the U.S. specifically, there are plenty of laws, and again, mostly in Christian states, it's heavily Christian Republican states, that make it perfectly legal. Like, it's not even illegal in a lot of, again, a lot of Christian Republican states, it's perfectly legal to do. To marry, and of course it's girls, because it's always girls, to marry girls that are like, 14, 15 years old. It's perfectly illegal. So it's definitely not a like all Christians thing, or even most Christians. But if you're gonna be upset about sex things, right? If you're gonna put the effort into being upset about sex things, then focusing on the consensual part of sex is the dumb thing about sex to get upset about. Technically, that is legal in California. Is it legal in California too? And I'm not surprised. It's legal in it's legal in far more places than it needs to be. Like way more places than it needs to be. Than it should be. If you are gonna get mad about sexy bits, then there are other things that are definitely worth getting upset about, and consenting adults having sex is not one of them. Okay. Just harass a teenage girl at the mall until you get banned and then get elected to Congress. It's true. It's true. just do that. Just walk into a girl's dressing rooms, and then you can be elected president. It's fine. It's fine. Again, like, if you're that really is my complaint. I'd like not. That's not kinky. That's just sad. Oh no.
Saying that you should wait to have sex within marriage. So this one flows right along with living together. Let's talk about this. They were very adamant that sex is normal.
Sex is normal. And guess what, my friends? We agree. Sex is absolutely a normal thing, right? We can all agree on this? Oh, Hannah can't. She...
Oh, no. Oh, Hannah, it's fine. Sex is normal. Get over yourself.
She doesn't think it's normal.
Sex is beautiful. Sex is beautiful. Sex is normal. God created it to be awesome.
Yes.
So we would agree with this commenter here so far. Even in the all caps, I would agree with the all caps. Sex is something normal.
In California, marriage of minors requires parental consent or consent of a judge and approval of the court. There is no lower age limit other than common sense. Oof, that's bad. Wasn't Hannah yet sold by her father to a husband? I don't think so. She seems a little young. Maybe she hasn't been sold off yet. Poor Hannah. Hannah looks very uncomfortable right now, which I feel real bad for. Not really. You got yourself into this situation, Hannah. This is kind of your own fault. So that's gross to find out about California. I think I knew that. I'm from California, so I think I knew that. But yeah, like, those kinds of laws should not exist. At all. Oh, unless it's in the butt, then it's not normal, and we should be banned, right, Paul and Morgan? Yes. Or if it's two ladies or two dudes, not perfect, or multiples of any of these, also not normal. And also, I'm sure that they have position. I'm sure that if we were to sit down and talk to them about this, that they would have certain positions that are not normal. I'm fairly certain that it's not. They'll say that it's normal, but I'm sure that they don't actually think that it's normal. I think the reaction that Hannah gave is probably closer to how they actually feel about it, and they're just being nice about it. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Amen.
And there is nothing wrong with
having it, but now here's the discrepancy.
Here's where we disagree.
Before marriage. So, here's the thing. If you...
Man, Hannah, are you okay? Like, woof. Like, Hannah looks very bothered by this. Hannah is very, very bothered by this. And even now Morgan's turned her judgmental gaze towards Hannah. Wow.
Once again, we're going to go to this. If you are not walking with the Lord, if you're not claiming to be a Christian, then you know what?
Totally normal.
We're not going to try to make a big case of, well, you shouldn't have sex because of the soul ties and the chemicals going on in your mind.
Shout out to my video that I did on Is It Worth Waiting Until Marriage. I talk about several reasons why you should wait, even if you're not a Christian. But anywho.
So yeah, we're
So you're not gonna push it onto non-Christians, except that Morgan is gonna push it onto non-Christians. That's fine. I think we watched that video. It's a bunch of bullshit. Is pretty much how it was. It's just a bunch of bullshit. She's having to listen to Paul and Morgan. Of course, she's not okay. Morgan, I think, is just spouting her talking points. So that I do find funny, that at the same time that Paul is trying to be like, oh, we're not going to push this onto our secular viewers, the R&Ds of the world. We're not going to push our beliefs onto you, right? Like, if you don't walk with the Lord, if you're not Christian and you want to engage, in sex before marriage, we're not going to judge you for that. But at the same time, Morgan is actually promoting the video where she does exactly that, and that I find hilarious. That like more than slight hypocrisy. That hypocrisy that they show there. So yes, this message is for you and me, my secular friends, just as much as it is for the Christian friends.
Saying those are there too, but we're not going to focus so much on those as, guys, we're talking to Christians here. We are encouraging and pushing Christians. Let's just live by the word of God. Let's just obey God's commands.
How many shekels for you, Hannah? I still want to know about this kinkiest thing that the two have done. Like, how impressed are they? It's true. It's I will still contest. I still contest that they don't have sex. I don't think they do. I genuinely don't think they do. It's conspiracy theories, so Illuminati whatnots, right? So and all that nonsense. What were you gonna say? Oh yeah, following the rules. Again, we're gonna the thing that always gets talked about when I talk about you, Paul and Morgan, is how we're gonna be all cherry picky about how, like, if you're going to say things like, we just want people to follow the rules of God, and then are gonna be cherry pick which rules you want to follow, then you're not actually following the rules of God, right? You're following the rules that you like or you think people should follow, but you're not following the rules of God. Clothes things, looking at your clothes, where's your beard / where's your hair? Paul, why is your hair not long? It should be. You shouldn't be getting haircuts. Morgan, you have tattoos. You're wearing makeup. I think I can't tell, but I know that ear piercings are another one. There's plenty of things for me to point out about the fact that you all break the rules constantly. So it's not about, like, we want you to live by people's rules. It's, we want you to live by the particular rules that we have chosen that we think you should be living by. It's not about God's rules. So you're not living by God's rules. Nobody lives by God's rules. Maybe the what do they call the Quakers? Mormons? No, not Mormons. Quakers. The ones who don't like electricity and zippers, whatever their names are. They might potentially be living by them, but the rest of you, you're not. You don't. Don't pretend like you do. I just wish you wouldn't pretend like you do.
and he talks about saving sex for marriage, honoring the marriage bed.
As Christians,
Amish, yes, the Amish. Thank you, Micro.
we're supposed to glorify God with our bodies and with our life. So by doing that, that is not glorifying unto the Father. And it also is ruining your witness and your testimony, because the Bible also talks about refraining from the appearance of evil.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not even refraining from the appearance of evil. You're just straight up doing it. But
So we're curious. Not that you're gonna answer, of course. But real curious. Am I like allowed to? I'm allowed to, like, in Christian theology, like, so. Let's pretend for a second that I decide to go full Christian tomorrow or whatever. Could I ask for forgiveness for all the things that I've done before, or is all this just going to count for me? Because if I'm allowed to ask for forgiveness, then again the your rule about not sex before marriage seems kind of weird, because then I can ask for forgiveness after I do it, like have sex and then like go be like, sorry, I had sex before marriage. And then do it again, and then ask for forgiveness, right? Because as far as I know, you can ask for forgiveness. I say this as somebody who used to be Catholic and pretty much did that, right? Like that's more or less how I lived my Catholic life. Is I would break the rules, and then I would go to church, and especially in the Catholic Church, because it's a very big thing in the Catholic Church, is you go and you confess. So on whatever days you go talk to the Father or whatever, and you confess all your sins, and then you do a little bit of homework, which is usually say a few prayers, so many Bloody Marys. The beer is talking. So many Virgin Mary, whatever hymns, I forget what they're called, Our Fathers and whatnot, and then you're forgiven. So you do that a lot. You ask for forgiveness a lot, especially in Catholicism. So that's how I lived my life, is I would go and do all the things. I would go break all the rules, and I broke all the rules. You'd go and break all the rules, and then you'd go on Sunday morning and you talk to the Father and be like, hey, I want to confess all the shit that I did this week, and then do my homework, and then I'm forgiven. So if that's the case, if your church, which I'm pretty sure is just like mine, if that's the point, then I'm really very curious as to what the point is of following the rules in the first place if you're going to get forgiven for them anyway by just talking to Jesus and being like, hey, I'm sorry I engaged in this thing that you told me not to do. I'm really curious. Hello, Richard, how are you? Sent me a DM on Discord. Ooh, with a pic. Cool beans. Indulgences let you get a forgiveness in advance. Well, I forgot about indulgences. Yeah, that's another one. You can get forgiveness in advance. You pretty much get out of free jail card. Literally, get out of free jail card in the Catholic Church, so that you can sin and then throw that on the table and you're free. I mean, it's how I rationalize having sex outside of marriage. It's how I rationalized. Again, all the drinking and all the things that I did in college. It's how I rationalized it. Is I broke the rules and then asked for forgiveness, and you're all are no different. Get out of hell free for card. It's true. So, this idea that it's just a very weird idea to me because of this very silly system that you have, that you should abstain from these acts when not abstaining and then asking for forgiveness is just as good. It's not like you get a better heaven than I do if I ask for forgiveness. At least I don't think you do. Are there different tiers of heaven? That'd be fun. Somebody explain to me. Are there different levels of heaven?
No pun intended. We've heard so many times, and you guys probably have too, and maybe you're right there in this exact situation. You start making those compromises. You go as far as to have sex with the person, and then your mind starts to justify it. I love this person. We're probably going to get married. Like, does the Bible really say that? I don't think it does. You stop reading your Bible as much. Mm-hmm. You distance yourself from the fellowship because you know they're probably going to call me out. I mean, there's so many like things.
I love this. I love how sex is the gateway drug to atheism. Fantastic. Everyone should go have more sex then. That is fantastic. I love it. If you just lift Jesus a fiber before you start cracking into the tentacle rape, there you go. That's how you get through it. Are there job classes? There are. Oh my goodness, it must be. Indulgence is one of Martin Luther's points. Yeah, I did like if nothing else, I don't necessarily agree with everything that Martin Luther did, but his like list of bitching out the Catholic Church is hilarious, and I love every bit of it. So yeah, I like this idea that sex is a gateway drug. That's fantastic. I love it. Everyone should go do it now. Like, this is, you are giving more benefits to having sex outside of marriage than you think than before. Like, this sounds even better now.
and suddenly, like, you're so far away from the Lord, and you're like, how did I get here?
When the Bible talks about how sin separates us from God, it is slow and it is progressive, and it just creeps on forward, and the enemy just like slowly just like sows in this separation between you and, like Paul said, your church family, your friends in general, your family in general, and
your mind isn't justifying jack shit. It's repressed nature trying to get your attention. It's true. I mean, the repressed part about how much Christians repress sex. And then again, hashtag not all Christians, right? We're not gonna. I feel like I have to say that very often, but hashtag not all Christians. But there are definitely a lot of horror stories out there, especially women, because it's always women, who can't have healthy sexual relationships, even with their husbands, being married within the context of the Christian church, because you are working you spend so much time repressing something that is so natural and normal that it genuinely fucks you up. It's really bad. I gotta stop laughing at horrible things. Like, it really fucks you up. There are plenty of horror stories of women who were in the Christian church, and their sexuality was repressed so much that they hated themselves. They couldn't live with themselves. When you get to the point like Paul and Morgan are here, when they're like, oh, you're lusting for somebody, like, even thinking about sex is bad. Like, when you get to that point, you're gonna do damage to yourself, because that's not normal behavior, and that's not what your body, it's not what your brain wants to do. Your brain wants to think about sex, and there's nothing wrong with your brain thinking about sex. It's a perfectly normal thing to think about sex. So it can cause a whole lot of damage, and really, the fact that you promote it is a little bit on the sketchy side, my friends.
And like, you become very isolated. I know for me in my past, I was so isolated in my relationship with my ex. Like, it was just me and him, because we were the only ones who knew what we were doing, and we knew that, like, if other people knew, they were gonna make us stop.
So Morgan has had premarital sex. And I'm not judging you for having premarital sex, Morgan. That's fantastic. Good for you, Morgan. What I am judging you on is you being such a bitch about everyone else doing it. You hypocrite. You can't. You just can't be telling everyone else not to engage in the very behavior that you were okay engaging in. That is not like, God damn it, Morgan. Especially if you're going to use this idea about, like, how it's going to be, how it's going to distance you from God or whatever, or Jesus and whatnot. Like, it's going to distance you from Jesus, right? To engage in this. It didn't for you. You were fine. So what's the problem with everyone else doing it? What is the problem with everyone else following your example and doing the same thing that you did? Everyone else can just do the same shit you did, go have premarital sex, and then find God again. Also, again, this whole idea that having premarital sex drives you away from God is not a problem with you having premarital sex. It's a problem with your church being judgmental assholes, and being around a bunch of judgmental assholes. There's absolutely no reason Not, churches don't have to be that way, and there are plenty that aren't that way. There are plenty of churches who don't feel the need to tell everyone else what they should or shouldn't do in the bedroom. And maybe we need more of those so that we have less people like you. But God, just because you had a relationship before getting boring one doesn't mean the rest of us have to. It's true.
Or they were going to hold us accountable or call us out, and we just could not face that because we knew what we were doing was not right. Separation from God is scary.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it might feel good and fun and fine for a while, but like all good things come to an end, and then you are
including God in your marriage. I'm sorry.
Faced with the reality of this was not good.
I don't believe God is ever going to justify or say something is okay based off of your feelings.
Mm-hmm. It's not that God doesn't want his children to be happy. It's that he knows this is not going to bring happiness. Like, not in this way.
I'm always really curious, right? Because why not? Like, what makes you, Morgan, the arbiter of what God thinks is going to make someone happy or not happy? Who are you to say that? Like, I feel like if I want to be a real dick, which I'm about to be, who are you to talk for God? Like, maybe that is God's will, is that you, is that couple X should just have sex outside of marriage, and that is what's going to make them happy. He would know better than you, so maybe don't speak for God. Just a thought, you know. Not that I think that God is real, but you know, like, I feel like at this point that's more or less what you're doing. You're talking on behalf of God, of what God thinks should or shouldn't be the right thing. Question: who the hell is Kobe Bryant? I think it's the baseball player. Yes, baseball player. 90% sure Paul Jacks out to Ezekiel 23:20. Which one's that one? I don't know what that one is. Maybe we'll look it up. Because all the news channels here are starting to go bonkers because that guy's apparently dead now. Oh, is he dead now? That's too bad. I think. I don't know. I'm not into baseball. Okay, with that said.
There's like forgiveness in that though. If you are sleeping together, there is forgiveness and repentance, and you're able to come back and God's able to restore you and heal you.
And guys, if you can relate to this and maybe you're in a situation like what we're talking about, we'd encourage you to go back and watch. We did 2 videos diving more into this. One is way.
I'm not gonna let them promote themselves. Okay, so I don't know, go do that. Shooting those baseballs for touchdown. Okay, so we're gonna look up Ezekiel whatchamacallits. We're gonna look up Ezekiel, and then oops, sorry, I made that real small. Oh, there we go. Ezekiel something or another. We're going to watch that real quick and then watch it. We're going to read it. Because Micro says that it's kinky. Micro says that it's kinky. 23:20. So let's look that up real quick. Let's get it over here into a Google search like that. And then let's see if I have this set up correctly or not. Probably not. To be fair to me. Nope, definitely do not. Like this. And then Google Ezekiel. There we go. Okay, so this is, we'll try to read this. Ezekiel 23:20. Let's go with this one. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys and whose emissions was like those of horses. Oh, that's hilarious. I forget that that's a thing. Oh God, was that the last one? 23:20. Was that the last bit? Was there more to it? Because I always enjoy reading these because they are so hilarious. So there's the story. But she carried her prostitution still further. Oh man, this is some kinky shit. But she carried her prostitution still further. She saw a man portrayed on the wall, figures of Chaldeans portrayed in red, with belts around their waist and flowing turbans on their heads. All of them looked like Babylonian chariot officers. Ooh, nothing like a man in uniform, right, gals? Natives to Chaldea. As soon as As soon as she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. Then the Babylonians came to her to the bed of love, and their lusts they defiled her. They had sex. It's not defiling. After she had been defiled by them, she turned away from them in disgust. When she carried on her prostitution openly and exposed her naked body, I turned away from her in disgust. God, you guys are really against sex. It's real bad. Just as I had turned away from her sister. Oh no. Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth when she was a prostitute in Egypt. There she lusted after lovers whose genitals were like those of donkeys and whose emissions was like that of a horse. So you long for the lewdness of your youth when in Egypt. Your bosom was caressed by the young breast fondled. Oh man, that is some kinky stuff, man. We really that was a lot kinkier than I thought it was gonna be. Not gonna lie, did not expect that shit to get super kinky like that. But I'll take it. That was good. All right. Oh, whoops, too many button presses. Oh. A lot of also forget when Jacob wrestled with God and touched him in the thigh, and basically the Old Testament for grabbing by the pussy. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, it did really. Oh my goodness. Oh. We got another one. Oh shoot! No, I scrolled too fast. Okay, we got we'll read Habakkuk. Do you want the King James version? We'll do the King James version. Okay, we'll try it. We got another one here, and I think this will be the last time that R&D tries to read this time around. So let's go back to Google. Let's see what we got here. Bible Gateway. Thou art filled with. Oh no, you can't see it. You can't see it. So let's go back so you can see it. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be thy glory. Shall be on thy glory. Oh, that is real kinky. What is with this? What is with this kinky nonsense? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This shit gets real. Oh, I always forget. Like I've read the Bible, but I always forget how fucking weird it is. For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of beasts which made them afraid because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and the city, and all the world therein. Well, things got kinky again real fast. Oof, the Bible, always fun. The Song of Solomon, that I do know is super kinky. There's some kinky shit in the Bible. And again, there's nothing wrong with kinky shit in the Bible. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It's just, there's something wrong with Paul and Morgan wanting to shame anybody who thinks differently than them. Okay. So with all that said, I think we're going to end the show there. About 5 minutes early, but that's okay. I think I'm all done with Paul and Morgan for the day. So, reminders for you, all you who showed up a little bit later, but still here at the end. Thank you very much. Let's switch over to camera so we can actually be a little bit more personal here. Man, my hair. Other side. I gotta look a little. There we go. For all of you who just arrived, thank you for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Sunday. If you would like to do or check out more of my stuff, because I know I haven't made a video in a bit, but if you want to check out more of my stuff, I have go check out Christy Abby's channel. She has an interview with me that was fantastic. Go check out Objectively Subjective's channel. They had an interview with me about 2 weeks ago. Also fantastic. Definitely worth a watch. I think, no, it was only a week ago. So go check out their channel. Also, they have great content in general. So go check them out. And if you would like extra dosages of R&D and microbloganism, you can check us out. Hopefully, probably, I'm going to go with an 80% chance of rain on Saturday, 2300 Eastern European time, whatever the fuck that means. We will be on Christy Winters' channel playing D&D with Chrisiosity as our DM. Christy Winters as our cleric, me as a cat, Micro as a lizard, and Jess as a dragon, no, a demon paladin. So, fun times will be had. If you want to go join us there, I will try to hang out in the chat and pay attention to things. But not Eastern European, Central, whatever. Sometime check out Christy Winter's channel for that. I wish she had actually had like a thing set up, but she doesn't. So, I'm just trying to promote people's and where you can find more R&D content. So go check those out. Thank you everyone for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. I think that's it. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all next time.